It's really easy to get caught up in where you want to be that you forget where you are right now. I find myself in kind of a weird situation right now where I'm waiting for the world to get back to normal. I miss being able to do my hypnosis shows and perform and travel and make fun videos, doing my shows and being on stage and performing. There's a reason why I pursued this as a career, and not being able to do it right now has been tough. And yet I don't like this waiting. I don't like feeling sort of dissatisfied and like I'm sort of just waiting for things to get back to normal so I can be able to do that. And I know a lot of people can probably relate to that as well, where they're sort of waiting for schools to reopen or their job to reopen or for them to be able to see their friends or hang out and be able to see people in person again. And yet, I think a lot of the dissatisfaction that we experience just comes from the fact that we place too much importance on where we want to be rather than where we are now. And I think even pandemic aside, there are other areas of our life that we do this as well. Another example for me would be the area of relationships, being single right now. I can't wait until I'm with somebody who makes me super happy, who I love and who loves me just as much. And I'm super excited for that phase of my life. And yet sometimes I can be more discouraged in the present because that future is not my present yet. And even though I'm really excited to get there someday, just as much as I'm excited to get back to being able to do my shows again, being overly excited about that happening in the future makes me more unhappy in the present because I don't have that yet. But the reality is that our life is so much more than just wanting to be somewhere we're not. Because we could spend our entire life wishing that we're in the next phase, right? I could be super excited to be in a relationship, and once I'm in a relationship, then I can't wait to be engaged, and then I can't wait to be married, and then I can't wait to have kids, then I can't wait for my kids to be in school, and then I can't wait for my kids to move out, and then I can't wait for my kids to have grandkids. And yet, when does it end? We're always looking to the future instead of looking to the present, because the future doesn't even exist. The future is just in our minds, and by the time the future shows up, the future is the new present. And if we spend every present moment looking forward to the future, we're actually not living any of that present moment. We're living it in our head. We're living in an alternate reality of an expectation that may or may not happen, and we're missing out on the now, on this moment. And I think that's the reason why it's easy for me to feel discouraged and for a lot of other people to feel discouraged or unhappy, because it caught up in this, I wish I was here. When the reality is that 6 months, a year ago, 5 years ago, how badly did you wish that you were right now? I remember when I was in high school, I couldn't wait to get to college and go be in college and be on my own. And then when I was in college, I couldn't wait to graduate and move out of the house and have my own apartment. And here I am in my own apartment and graduating and doing what I love for a career. Well, waiting to get back to being able to do what I love for a career because of the pandemic. But I'm in the exact situation that I would have killed to be in several years ago. And yet, the perspective is so valuable because we often forget that we're there or we're here in this moment. And the reason that we're often unhappy is because we forget to actually live in it. And we become so just distracted by wanting the future, by wanting that next thing, by wanting that next stage, that we forget to live the current one. So for me, one of the things that's kept me going is to find new things to enjoy in the moment, to learn singing. As you might have seen some of the singing covers I posted on my channel. I still have a long way to go, but it's been a fun thing that I've done every day. To play more board games. I've been part of some really awesome board game communities and done that as a way to do something that I enjoy during the day. But even still, I want to find more things that I can do that are new, or hobbies that I can take up, or even things like these. Maybe just making more videos where I can be more philosophical, because I love being able to talk about these things. And oftentimes this would come when I would do collabs or do my shows. And so I'd miss sort of this part of getting existential and intellectual and philosophical like this. So maybe I'll make more videos like this. But I think that having those things that can ground us in the now, bring us back to where we are, and stop distracting us to project into where we're not at yet, help us to enjoy the current moment. Because what it means to be happy is to enjoy the right now. And the reason that we often feel depressed or stressed or anxious is because we time travel in our mind, is because we're living in the past and regret, or we're living in the future and the anxiety or the hope or the wishful thinking and the looking forward to what's next, and we're not here. We're not now. And I'm so guilty of this myself. Like I've already said, that I can easily project into where I want to be, but the times I find myself the happiest are when I get lost in the moment. You know, those moments where you're doing something you enjoy so much that time flies, right? Time feels like time is going by at super speed, and you're just so lost in the moment that you don't even realize hours go by. Those are the moments when we feel most alive, is when we're not thinking about time in a quantifiable way of now or later or yesterday or tomorrow or the future or the past, but we're just living the moment that is, because that's all there ever is. Once tomorrow comes, tomorrow is the new today. Tomorrow never gets here. That's why it's called tomorrow. And yet when we get so distracted by the tomorrow, we miss the today. So I think the reason we're not happy, as I've said, is because we just get distracted and we go somewhere we're not. But when we focus on where we are instead of getting caught up in where we want to be, then we tend to be happier. So that was just kind of me rambling for a couple minutes about that concept. It's literally like 1 a.m. right now. I'm making this video just on a whim because I thought, why not? But yeah, if you're not happy, maybe focus on where you are now. Find something that you could enjoy in this moment, in this season of life, where you are today, rather than where you want to be tomorrow. Because once you get to where you want to be, then you're already going to want to be somewhere else. So enjoy the moment that you have. Enjoy right now, especially because you don't know how much more days you have, right? Time is valuable based on how much of it we have left, right? $100 seems like nothing if you're a millionaire, but it seems like a fortune if you live on $2 a day. And 6 months waiting out a pandemic could seem like nothing right now for me, but could be the most precious thing in the world if it's the last 6 months of my life. And yet, all time is just as valuable. So treat it as if it is. And that's something that I need to do more in my life, that I'm going to start doing, and hopefully maybe you see some areas where you could do it in yours. So this was kind of just external processing for me thinking about this idea, but I don't know, maybe some of these things helped. Should I make more videos like this where I just get philosophical on different ideas? If you enjoyed this, let me know and leave a comment on what other types of videos you'd want to see along these lines. But yeah, that's why we're not happy, because we get caught up in where we want to be instead of focusing on where we are. So yeah, hope that helped. Goodbye.